Welcome to the Meat Mistress podcast. I'm your host, Emma Butler, and this is my audio diary of life on the farm as a full-time farmer, wife, and mother, not always in that order. And oh yeah, I also own and operate a butcher shop. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time as I chat all things farming, small business, and more.
All right, so before I jump into this subject matter, and I'm referring to the title of this podcast, I want to preface this by saying that I feel as though I should never apologize for my opinions, because my opinions are valid and I am just as entitled to them as anybody else. However, as always, it goes without saying that sometimes you have to navigate between those lines of personal opinion and representing the business. So I'm going to try and articulate this topic as best that I can. And what I want you to take away from this conversation is maybe a little bit more mindset tips and tricks. So I want to go in this conversation with you and just be able to bestow you some mindset tips to kind of maybe help you navigate themes that you might be going through in your business life or in your personal life, and just try and help you with things in that respect of how do you navigate, how do you overcome, how do you push forward. So let's just dive into it. So this morning, one of my staff came up to me and asked me a question that I feel as though when I reflect back on the conversation that I handled exceptionally well, that really proved to myself that I have a decent mindset. Maybe right now, maybe not all the time, but right now I am in a good frame of mind. So this morning, my employee came up to me and she said, "Hey, are you at war with the grocery store?" And this is where my mindset really comes into play, because my immediate response to her, I did not even skip a beat. I said, there is no war when there is already losers. I'm going to say that again. There is no war when there is already losers. And what I meant by that is, I'll give you I don't want to say too much, but I'll give you the preface of this situation and I guess why she asked me that. There is some business that is local to me that is a franchise that all of a sudden really doesn't like me and does not like my business, so our on-farm store and butcher shop. So if you're new here, my husband and I raise beef, lamb, and chicken, and we built an on-farm store and a butcher shop right on our farm about a year ago. Previously to that, we had a small farm store where we didn't butcher, but we just retailed our products direct to consumers. So I've been in this game since 2018, selling direct to consumer. And then since 2022, I've been in the game of still selling direct to consumer, still farming, still being a producer. But now we have a butcher element where we do everything ourselves, so we don't have to rely on anyone else. And I can dive into that later if you want to hear about it, but that is the preface of the conversation. So recently, this franchise has kind of decided, honestly, and without trying to be like a victim, to personally attack me. And I will dive into that more by letting you know that the owner of the franchise has messaged me on Facebook directly to let me know how he thinks and feels. And going back to my opening segment of this conversation, his feelings are valid too. He is by all means entitled to his own opinion, however he thinks, however he feels. That's fine. That's you can feel that, you can say that, you can do whatever you want. It is a free country. You can do and say whatever you want and feel however you feel. You can sit in your feelings. That's all right. The part of this that I really find absolutely bizarre is the delusion that this person has that thinks that it's acceptable to hate me behind the scenes, hate my business, really just dispel this negative energy, and then have the audacity to message me and let me know how they feel. Like, I feel like that is delusional, bizarre behavior. And I don't know if you can agree with that or not, but that is delulu. And it's bizarre and it's weird. And it's just funny because in this business, like before we got into the butchery side of things, I knew there was like drama in this industry, but because of our previous experience with our little farm store. But once we dove into the butchery side of things, oh man, that has opened an entirely new world of drama. There is drama in this industry all the time, and it's honestly really exhausting me because I don't like drama. I don't do drama. I don't do bullshit. I don't fucking care. If your kids are in the car, like, sorry, like that's just going to happen. There's going to be some little sprinkles of language in this podcast, but I don't fucking care about your drama in the butchery field. I really truthfully don't. I am so busy and so preoccupied staying in my own lane and building my own brand and fueling my team and serving my customers that I don't think about you. I don't think about you. You are a pea floating in the ocean, my friend. I do not think about you and your shit and what you're doing, because I know from experience that when I hyper focus in on my own lane and staying channeled to what matters to me and what matters to our business and what propels us forward, what enriches my team, what evolves the customer experience so we can always do better for them. When I focus on that, we do better, my business grows, and everybody wins. And I've spoken on this topic before that I am a collaboration over competition person. I always have been. I am a hype girl, and that is who I am. So when people bring their negativity and their cesspool of drama into my energy aura, I get bitchy. I get very bitchy because I'm like, stay away. I did not ask for this. I'm not interested in this. And I will not entertain this. This kind of stuff fuels me and helps me refocus to focus on myself and my business to do my thing. And in my experience in this field, this new field of butchery, I also want to preface this by saying I am not a man hater, but this is a male dominated industry. There's no two ways about it. Like, it is what it is. And I'm fine with that because I definitely can stand my own ground. I can hold my own. I run with the boys, and usually I run ahead of them. So in this industry, I have come across the same type of man over and over and over again. So this issue with this franchise in my community is literally nothing that I haven't seen before. I'm getting fairly immune to it, to be honest. But the type of man that I keep running up against in this industry has been a narcissistic, egotistical, misogynistic, controlling. I don't want to say rude, but rude, like, because, men that are caught up in their own egos are rude and ignorant. Like, they only ever think about themselves and don't even perceive the world around them. And I've encountered this multiple times. Like, now in my head, it's just a recurring character. It's a recurring typecast for this industry. And I, as a new person in this industry, I haven't worked in the butchery field for 10 or more years or whatever, like as a juvenile in this industry, I'm really learning and I'm really becoming a sponge and soaking all of these experiences up. And again, using that as really ammunition to really fire at my target and my goals, which is, to enrich our business and our community and build a brand that is going to essentially withstand the test of time. That is what I'm doing. Like, I am busting my absolute ass so that I have something tangible to pass on to my children if this is what they want to do. And so in the themes of these recurring characters of these misogynistic, narcissistic, egotistical men that I keep running into over and over and over again, I kind of laugh to myself because I'm like, you guys are all the same. That's why I refer to them as characters, because they've been the same in my experience so far. I have not met one of them yet that wasn't that way or didn't have the same pattern of, I'm gonna tell her what I think about her. I'm gonna talk about her. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna post it on social media. I'm gonna get J&E meets, and like, I'm really gonna let him have it. I'm gonna let him know how I feel. Good for fucking you, bestie. Like, go for it, my friend. Like, you little keyboard warrior, you do it. Get it done. Have at it. Blurt your ignorant opinion in all corners of the atmosphere. Like, you have all rights, all the resources at your fingertips to do that. You do that, my friend, because I am silently building an empire. I don't need to go around blasting my opinion and cursing and firing back and blah, 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 blah. I'm too busy focusing on what I'm doing and doing it exceptionally well and continuing to grow. And at the end of the day, I'm making money and I'm good at what I do. And while they're all out there chasing their tails, trying to figure out what they're going to do next, like how we're really going to show her, while they're all busy doing that, I'm on another planet just crafting and culturing and nurturing this thing that I am working on. And leading back into, this is why I know I've put in the work mentally to put myself in a better place. Myself, like, even 4 years ago, when my business was still fairly new, I guess, when I was still, I don't want to say softer, but like, now I definitely have some callus. Now I have a little bit of grit. And now that I am in my, my 30s, my brain has hit another stair step in my mental capacity, in the sense that I am so strong and I'm so much into who I am as a person and what I can pour into my children and my friends and my husband and my relationships and my customers and my business. I'm so secure that I can hyper focus in on that and really channel all the things that I've learned and all these experiences that I've had in just that short 4-year time span. Like, me 4 years ago would have been very bothered by this incident and would have been really rattled, and my confidence would have been really shaken, and I would have really, like, not slept at night. I would have really let it disrupt my universe. And now that I am where I am, I kind of snicker. I'm like, ha ha ha, more fuel to my fire. Like, thanks for adding some kindling, my friend. Like, we are really going to explode with this. Like, that is all I need. I need a tiny little itty bitty flicker of something, and it just ignites me and supercharges me to absolutely explode and move forward and rechannel. And I'm a little bit vengeful in the sense that I will make this my whole new personality, because I'm so pissed off that you thought that it was okay to bring that energy into my universe. I'm not pissed off at what this person said. I'm not pissed off at what they think. No way. None of that has anything to do with that. It is about me fully and wholeheartedly being mad that you thought that it was okay or that you could do this. That's what I think is bizarre. And I have really put in the work mentally, as I said, and I'll dive into a little bit more how I've kind of done that. So I know that I have been putting in the work mentally to be able to overcome, honestly, like there's no other way to put it, overcome bullshit. Part of it is, no, I don't want to dive too much into like my personal life, which I'm comfortable talking about it, but I don't want to bring anybody down. Growing up, I was a fairly precocious child. Like I was always kind of more mature than my age was, I guess, and I kind of had to be. I had no other choice at the time. I really had to step up and be a parent and have responsibilities, and anyway, the whole thing. So that experience and carrying out through my teens, that did kind of build me a little bit and immune me a little bit to the way that the world actually is. Or I should say the way the world can be. I shouldn't say actually is, because the world is beautiful and people are amazing, and there's so many cool things happening around you all of the time. So I shouldn't say that the world's a bad, nasty place, because it really is not. But it did immune me, I guess, the way that I was brought up kind of immuned me to, when I got into living an adult life, the way that some things have gone, I wasn't that caught off guard by it. And I've put in the work mentally to be able to overcome the bullshit, frankly, by really just leaning into myself and really leaning into the things that I believe in. And honestly, it's just a method of pumping my own tires. It really is. It's a little bit of a fake it till you make it thing, but that method does work. It really does. Like when you lean into yourself and you believe in yourself and you have all the confidence in the world, in the sense that you know who you are and you know what you represent and you know what you stand for and you know what you will not stand for. So a big part of navigating all of this has been setting healthy boundaries for myself and my business, and setting boundaries for what I will tolerate and what I will let people do to me, I guess, is the way to phrase it. I really needed to do this earlier in my business. I needed to set healthy boundaries, because this instance that I'm talking about, in terms of, this character of man and the war with the grocery store, like these things are they're just drops in a bucket. They're not, adding up to the bigger picture. And things like this, when you're a business like mine, and when you are in, now again, I'm not a somebody, I'm not a celebrity, but like I'm in the public eye, and I have a lot of eyes on me all the time. Wherever I go, I have eyes on me on social media. I have eyes on me here at the Meet Mistress podcast. I have eyes on me literally at the grocery store. Like I do get recognized because I'm active on social media. People see my face a lot. My face and my personality has very much been a big part of J&E Meats as a brand, because I'm the one putting in the work. I'm the one with the story to tell. I am the one cultivating these relationships. I'm the one leading the team. I am the one building the business. So it should be my face. It should be. It should be me. And the other part of making myself a part of the business, now I'm just going to digress a little bit, but another part of making myself, I guess, the face of the business as well, is it is something that nobody else can copy. And like, this is another theme going on in my life right now. I've talked about it before here on the Meet Mistress podcast. You can look back on a couple of my other episodes. One of my most popular episodes is the one where I am talking about how copycats aren't cute. And there's the premise of the conversation is there's a farm out there that sells farm to table. They're producers. all the things. I think it's fucking awesome. I think it is so cool what they are doing. I think they absolutely should sell their beef direct to consumer. All the things. Like, I am a fan of theirs, but I am also a hater of them because they absolutely verbatim copy me. They take words that I have said and posted, captions of my photos, excerpts off my website, and have copied and pasted them verbatim into their marketing and their posts and stuff like that. And that really has me pissed off. And they did it again the other day, and they know exactly who they are. And I know some of you guys know who they are because you've messaged me about it and asked. And I don't want to give it light because, you know, the next kind of time I see it happens, I've already looked into taking legal action. So if you're listening to this or you know who they are, maybe just forewarn them that if it persists, that, you know, they'll be contacted by somebody that's maybe not myself, that's a little bit more ruthless than me. But I have had to mentally prepare for that, and I have known that if I am the face of my business, that nobody can copy that. Nobody can replicate that. You can take my words, but you can't take my face. Like, literally, you can copy and paste stuff off my website and captions that I have said all you want, but you can't change my face. You can't change the quality of the products that I produce. You cannot change the service that I provide to my customers. You cannot change a damn thing about my business, nor can you affect it except for the element of it's annoying and it's wrong and it's plagiarism. And I am more than happy to offer you my services if you need a little bit of help in the marketing department or you want some consultation. I am more than happy to help facilitate that for your business. You've just chosen not to do that approach. You've chosen to blatantly copy and plagiarize. So there's two ways that you could go about it. And this place in particular has chosen not to take that route. And that's just the one that I know about. I'm sure there are others out there. Like, it's so easy now with social media just to not have to use your brain or be honest or speak from your heart. It's so easy just to copy and paste and take what other people have, and it's wrong and disgusting on any level. And I'm sorry to any other business owners that have gone through this or experienced this, because it feels very violating. But tying back into that and tying back into the stance of I've put in the work mentally, although that situation annoys the piss out of me, I don't lose sleep over it at night. I really truthfully don't let it rock my soul and rock my core. I see it. I'm like, okay, there it is again. And I move on. You know, there's not much more I can do about it. I'm not going to message this place and attack them or anything like that because I have integrity as a human being. Even though people can do that to me, it's fine. I'm immune to that. And that's what I mean. I've put in the work mentally to really be battered and bruised and still come out on top and still have the integrity that I have and be who I am as a person. You know, I can't lie about who I am as a person. I can't lie about my personality. I can't plagiarize a person. I can't do that. And putting in the work mentally has really been a catalyst for our business because I am in the public eye. I do get recognized. I have people that follow me. I have people that I literally have had people at the grocery store come up to me and recognize me and be like, "Hey, you're the meat girl," and I'm like, "I am." So I subconsciously really try and watch myself, the way that I present myself in the world, and make sure that it is an authentic representation of who I am as a person. And I've really tried to work on that because, you know, myself at 19 or 20 years old is not myself that I am now. And I am so fucking proud of that work that I have put in to get this far. I have really had to struggle, and I have really had to be in the trenches and be in the black hole mentally where I didn't see a light at one point and I didn't think I was going to come out of that. So where I am today and what I have today, I am so proud of because I have really put in the time and invested in myself and in the way that I am mentally to make sure that this was going to be okay and that I wasn't going to go into those dark places anymore, and I wasn't going to let things like negativity and ruining my aura and ruining my space ruin my whole life. It's just a bad moment. It's not a bad day. And I hope out of this conversation, some of the things that you're going to take away is that, you know, people are going to try and beat you down, but I really don't think that they mean to. So, you know, this person that has messaged me to tell me their opinion against me, like, okay, I'm sure in their world, in their mind, they, you know, maybe they think it's going to help me. I don't know. I don't live their life. I'm not even friends with them. So how would I know how they think or feel? And I get messages, I've gotten messages before from customers that are just, and my customers are amazing, but I've had messages from people that are very ignorant and very rude. And I'm just like, I'm really sure Shirley didn't mean that the way it came off. But again, that's me and my shit. Like, how I interpret things is my own problem. Like, how information is presented to me is on that person, and how I interpret it and digest that information, that's on me. I am responsible for my own feelings and my own actions. And I feel like in these situations that I've navigated and am continually navigating in this space, that I have to always remind myself of that. Like, I am in control of me. We are our emotions. We are who we are, and we have to hold into that and lean into that. And if there's pieces and parts and corners of who you are that you don't like, you are the only person that can change that. You are the only person that can adjust your outcome. You are the only person that you can rely on. You know, your wife, your husband, your friends, your mom, your sister, whatever. You can rely on them in life through big things, but through the fundamental parts of your soul that you have to navigate, that is on you. Nobody else can do that for you. And I'll leave you with this conversation. Again, I know this is maybe coming off maybe a little bit sassier than you're used to hearing from me, but again, right now I'm speaking from a place where I feel like everywhere I've kind of turned, I've had, you know, the strap on my back from a lot of people and places and stuff constantly. Like, it seems to be my theme of the week right now. But I am not letting that get me down. I'm not letting that affect me. I'm not letting that pour into my team or my family or any of the other facets of my life, because those facets of my life need me. Those facets of my life, my business, my team, my children, my husband, they need me, and they need the best version of me. So I cannot allow these blows from all these different directions to pull me down and push me into a precipice that I can't climb out of. I can't allow that to happen. And I encourage you, if you're feeling that way too, I encourage you and I implore you to just look into yourself a little bit and look into the control that you already have. Those punches are out of your control, but what's in your control is what you do with them, how you react, and how you move forward, and the decisions that you're going to make that are going to better you and your environment. I'm going to leave you with this whole podcast right now. I know maybe it was a lot. It was maybe more than you asked for, but I think it was a side of me that you needed to see, and I think it's something that I needed to say. And again, I'll just clarify that I'm not at war with the grocery store. There can be no war when there are losers. I'm going to leave you with that, guys. I hope you have a really great day. Thank you for listening to the Meat Mistress podcast. As always, if you really like this episode, head on over and find me on social media. I'm at Janie Meats on all platforms. I would love to hear from you in a positive light that's not going to wreck or affect my aura. Okay. Thank you so much. I will talk to you very soon.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Meat Mistress podcast. I'm your host, Emma Butler. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. Thanks for listening. I can't wait to see you back here again. If you'd like to keep up with all things happening J&E Meats, which is our farm store and butcher shop, you can find us over on Instagram at J&E Meats and on Facebook as well too. I will talk to you again very soon.